Just in terms of this season, it's been very difficult for Manchester City. You've just had an injury as well. What has it been like in the dressing room as all the injuries have mounted up and the results have not been the way that the players are used to or want?
Yeah, well, I think since I've been here, maybe the most difficult season so far till this period. But I'm a firm believer that even on the most difficult scenario, the most difficult beginning, you can still do something and achieve something beautiful in the end. And right now we're still in that position. Obviously we know how difficult our opposition is and how difficult our way will be to get there. But I think it's a question of believing in what we have in the dressing room, and we have loads of guns. We just need to use them the right way, and with the right belief, we are able to do anything.
Hi, Ruben. You've obviously been involved in lots of huge games for Manchester City. We've seen this particular match played out and go different ways in terms of Madrid winning some, you winning some in completely different fashions. But in terms of intensity, is this the most intense game that you can play in a Manchester City shirt?
Well, it's different to call it intense. It's intensity. If you look at the Premier League, it's difficult to match that intensity. Obviously, it's one of the toughest opponents you can come across in the Champions League. But the game is different, and the game is more versatile maybe than any other. But yes, we definitely know very well what we're up against and what we must push on. And yeah, I wouldn't say this game can either be the most intense or not. Depends on where it ends up going. But it's definitely one of the toughest games you can have, most surely.
Hi, Ruben. It's well documented how Real Madrid boycotted the Balon d'Or ceremony in protest at Vinicius Jr. not winning it. How disrespectful did you, as a squad, feel that was towards Rodri, who obviously won it and was a worthy winner?
Being very honest with you, I didn't spend 1 second thinking about if it was disrespectful or not. I was happy with Rodri. I was there. I celebrated with him that night, and I was very happy for him, as I believe everyone at the club was. Well, didn't really spend my time thinking about it.
Hi, Ruben. Since you last faced Real, they've signed Kylian Mbappe. Can you tell us how different will it be to defend against him, and how do you go about doing that?
Well, we've played against him many times before, and even then, it was not just him the main threat. It was Neymar at some point, then Messi as well. So we've had our encounters of teams that have that flexibility in terms of who can make the difference. And in the end, when you get to this level of the Champions League, that's what you get from Madrid or from everyone else. Obviously, we know that they have a special ability to be more flexible than maybe the most of the teams, and that's why we need to be really good and very solid at the back. The more solid we are at the back, the more comfortable we'll be in the game.
Hi, Ruben. A lot of this tie is probably going to come down to Kylian versus Erling. It's obviously going to be a big talking point. Erling's never gone 5 games without scoring against a team. Do you sense that he's really going to want to prove a point, A, against Real Madrid, having never scored against them, and B, when it's going to be billed as Haaland versus Mbappe, probably the two players who are kind of the Messi and Ronaldo for this generation? Do you sense this is the kind of game that is really going to get Erling going, and the kind of tie that's going to really get him going?
Well, personally, I don't sense any kind of Erling versus Kylian vibes in the game. It's a City against Madrid, and that's what it is. And obviously, there's loads of big names on both sides. And in relation to Erling, I'm sure that just like all of us, he wants to be in this competition and he wants to win it just as much as all of us. So I'm pretty sure that he'll be hungry enough to be there and perform.
Hi, Ruben. Since you last played Real Madrid, Kyle Walker's now left. He had some good battles against Vinicius. How much of a loss has he been to the dressing room, both as a player and a sort of leader?
Well, he was obviously a big personality, and especially when it came to times like these, he was always one to show up and show his face and be there for the team. And obviously, he was a a player we all relied on. He's not here now, so time for another one to step up. And obviously, I think we've got enough names that are able to step up.
Hi, Ruben. Are you able to just sort of give us an insight on what your last few months have been like? It must be really frustrating to sort of come back and then have a setback. You've obviously been eased in this time. Do you feel like ready to play 3 games in a week again? Yeah,
obviously it's been frustrating, especially after my first injury. Then I came back, but then it was a death sequence. When I came back, everyone was injured, and I had to play all the games every 3 days. And then in the last one before, I had the week between games that would allow me to kind of breathe in a little bit. I got injured against United. And then, yeah, it's obviously frustrating to be missing out, especially in a period like this, in which you just want to be there and help and show your face and be there next to your family in the pitch. But yeah, you help in whatever way you can, and one of the ways is to recover as well as you can and as fast as you can as well. But obviously, it's also a moment in which you need to be, I think, and believe very wise with the comeback, because you're getting into a moment of the season in which the train is going, and you need to catch that train going. So it's important that, together with the staff, you take wise decisions in terms of game time, because right now the schedules are ruthless, and you need to be wise. You need to be wise, and you need to be making the right decisions.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.